Hello everyone and welcome! After getting the RC chassis fully assembled, designing and 3D printing some custom wheels, and getting the body mounted to the chassis, I'm finally ready to add the final details to this awesome looking 2013 Challenger. Of course, if you'd like to catch up on all the work that's been done so far, you'll find a link to this project's playlist below in the description. In the last video, I got the body mounted to the chassis and did the first test drive. With everything functioning correctly, all that's left to do is to add the final details to this already great looking body. As nice as it looks now, a little simple work with an airbrush is really going to take this car to the next level. First thing I want to do is to paint the wheels, which obviously need to be removed from the car first. Although the black bear resin looks pretty cool, I wanted to paint them chrome along with painting the brake rotors as well. I gave them a quick wash to get the dust off, then used some Rust-Oleum paint. After that, I painted the interior and engine bay flat black. I'll be coming back later to paint some more details, but right now I wanted to get everything coated with some black paint. Although this pre-colored and decorated body from Revell looks nice, painting some additional details like the black trim, grille, and side marker lights is really going to make this body come to life. I carefully masked the areas such as the lower trim that goes around the bottom of the body and the grille, and then used an airbrush to paint these sections flat black. I would have liked to paint some sections around the windows black to look like weather stripping, but being a pre-assembled body, the windows were all secured into place, and I don't want to risk damaging anything by forcing them out, so a little compromise there, but not really a big deal. Just adding some flat black to these sections is already really making the car look more realistic. I continued by airbrushing the side marker lights and tailpipes. By this time, the paint on the interior and engine bay piece was dry. On the previous Challenger I built, I never added much detail to the engine bay, but on this build, I wanted to add a lot more detail. Using an image taken under the hood of a real Challenger as reference, I started by painting a large section of the under the hood area body colored. Once the red paint was dry, I hand painted several details with black and white paint. After the engine was glued in place, this engine bay section was complete. While I wasn't trying to make the most realistic or detailed engine bay ever, these little details really add a lot to the overall look. To complete this piece, I glued the seats into the interior. Something I wanted to try to do with this car was tint the lights. I thought with the black horizontal grille, it would be kind of cool to make the headlights sort of blend in with it a bit, if that makes sense. Although I don't think it was ever an option on the Challenger specifically, I sort of wanted to harken back a bit to the hideaway headlights you'd see on cars like the Charger, Torino GT, and Camaro. It's something a little different and kind of subtle, but I really like how it looks on the car. Depending on the lighting, the headlights will really blend into the grille. No license plate is included with the Challenger kit, so I added one from that Super kit that I built previously. At this point, the body is complete, so the next step is to secure the interior to the body. I cut a few small pieces of styrene to make a little tab to secure the front, and I simply used glue to hold down the rear. I didn't want the white styrene to stand out, so I gave it a quick coat of black paint. Since the body won't need to be handled much anymore, I added the side view mirrors. I generally like to make these some of the last items that I add so I don't have to worry about breaking them off as I'm handling the body. When I went to install the hood, I realized that I forgot to paint the vents black, so I masked them off and sprayed them flat black. The wheels and rotors really looked good with some paint. I glued each rotor to each wheel and then got them mounted to the chassis. And with the wheels on, the car is now complete. This thing turned out looking awesome. I said in the beginning that I wanted to build this Challenger even better than the purple one I built a few years back, and I think I definitely accomplished that. Both cars look great, but I think the little details and mild modifications I added to this latest Challenger really take it up a notch, especially with the detailed engine bay. This was such a fun build and pretty easy to put together with that pre-painted body and FPUC1 chassis. The little bit of airbrushing and hand-painted details really makes this car look closer to the real thing. Also, I'm really pleased with how these wheels turned out. I think I could have done a little better job with making that chrome paint smoother, but I love this design and think it really looks good with this Challenger. I don't have any chrome wheel nuts on hand, otherwise I would have used them as these black ones clash a bit with the wheels, but still really cool looking overall. Of course, I couldn't end this video without doing a little driving, and as expected, it drives great. I had a lot of fun cruising around, but after a few encounters with the barriers, I figured I better call it quits before I total this car before I have a chance to send it to the customer. I hope you all enjoyed this build series as much as I enjoyed making it. I've got lots more great projects to showcase on this channel, so I hope you'll stay tuned for those. But that's going to be all for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.